Are you going for your goals and then end up finding that you're self-sabotaging, or you feel like you've got some limitations about going for them, or you just straight out struggle to even achieve your goals? The crow agrees. But listen, I want to shortly, just quickly share with you that the reason why that you may be struggling in an area of your life, like all of us do, we're all fundamentally flawed at a programming operating level with something in our lives. And I say that because in the early part of our life, from 0 to 7, we are literally downloading the programs, the rules of life, the rules of how we relate with people, relate with the world, relate with ourselves, how we communicate, how we eat, how we speak, how we go for goals. If you're watching people in your family go for it or not, all of that programming is downloaded without any effort from you during the ages of 0 to 7. And that's really important because it's like you're coming onto the planet with this blank operating system, and you need to learn pretty quickly about what it is that you need to learn as far as the rules go in order to function in family units and also in society. The challenge is that many of us, including myself, grew up in families where there was dysfunction or abuse or addiction of some sort. So that could be addiction to work, it could be addiction to drugs or alcohol, addiction to conflict, whatever that is. Essentially, whatever that addiction is, that is going to rob of being present emotionally and physically, and it's not going to teach you that you are, available, that someone is available for you, right? So, and the other thing too is about these 3 states, that whether it's addiction, dysfunction, or abuse, it creates a lot of survival mechanisms in order to cope. So, and to not be rejected, because you're dependent. You're naturally dependent on the people that are caring for you to survive. But what happens is if you've grown up through those programmings like that, you will grow up as an adult and physically develop, but your emotional development won't necessarily be in alignment with your adult development, and maybe you become highly skilled and over-intellectualized on everything because it's the way to cope, because you disconnect from how you feel. You've been basically, if you struggle with speaking up or communicating what you really mean, or having conversations where you can say no to people, or maybe you're a strong people pleaser, or you might find you still default to that pattern sometimes, even though you might be aware of it. That's the consciousness. But if you struggle to say no to people, if you struggle to have any boundaries, or have weak or no boundaries, or maybe you're like, Katie, what are boundaries? Well, listen up, this is very important. And if you may be in the perfection cycle, you've got to have everything perfect before you take action, because deep-rooted fear of not being enough. So these programmings in this early life, if you've been exposed to any of those because they were repetitive, then that becomes your subconscious programming, no matter what it is you consciously say that you want to create in your life. And you may even get the success, but then you'll sabotage it unless you have the subconscious programming that's balanced and aligned in agreement to support the goal that you're going for. So whether that's for wealth or creating a business and moving out of a paradigm where you've been trained to believe that you have to grow up, go to school, get a job, get married, white picket fence, 2.5 kids. Even though you want something different because you know it's now available, but if you haven't got the programming to support that new goal, then you're going to struggle. It's struggle street because it doesn't match up. And your mind is always going to stay congruent with what it believes in the operating system. So it's not about, that's a big reason why I witness this so much, and I get the frustration because I've even experienced it myself, where, it's like chasing the shiny object syndrome, just to get one more training, one more business, one more course to do, one more book to read, one more therapist, one more whatever it is to go and connect with. Just learning that one more piece. Sorry, somebody's just popping on by. So that's the nature of being out in public, right? So the I got distracted now. So one of the key things that you want to understand is that the strategies, they work. You know that they work, and that's part of the frustration, because you can see it works for other people, but you might be asking, why isn't it working for me? Well, it's because the subconscious programming isn't in alignment with that. So what you need to do is clear the energy blocks, so that you can be in alignment, debug the programming that is dysfunctional. It doesn't work, right? But it's all you know. And if that's all you know, you're going to keep defaulting back to that. But then be provided with a new alternative, a new program that will support your success, and then the skills to practice and rehabituate that programming so that you can move forward until it becomes such an ingrained program that you operate from that naturally. And you don't even have to think about it anymore. It's a bit like driving a car. There was a point in time, so from 0 to 7, you don't have to think about any of the programming. You're just downloading, right? But from 7 onwards, it's like the only way for you to then move into reprogramming your mind, your brain, is 2 ways. You need to do both these things. One is you need to be able to tap into shifting your thought brainwaves into theta so that you can shift into imagination. You'll relax. You're bypassing the conscious mind, which will only... It won't particularly help you connect. You have to reprogram in the subconscious mind. The other thing you need to do is, once you've got the reprogramming, like going to a chiropractor who's going to give you an adjustment, and a great chiropractor is going to also give you some new exercises to practice, meaning repeat, so that you can support the new alignment. Challenge is, do most of us go and practice those new habits, right? We might do it for a day or two, and then we sort of we forget about it because we're not consciously ritualizing it to become a new habit. But here's when you have a reprogramming of the subconscious mind, you have the alignment, you'll have rapid adjustment, and so you allow that energy to now be in emotion that is no longer blocked. It's in motion, energy in motion flowing through you, that you can channel that energy to create, to support your goal success and manifest the dreams that you desire. That's how it works, right? And it all sounds all easy. And what I hear is one of the programs that is really dysfunctional, I hear this a lot, are you ready? And you might say it yourself, is, I know that. Yes, but are you applying it? Are you practicing it? Are you ritualizing it? Are you doing the sequence of habits that support the program? Or are you doing it once and go, I know that, but you're not applying it, therefore you're not supporting the system to operate with that program? And part of the I know that's a sequence of the intellectualizing thing, especially if you've come from a background where there was some dysfunction. And look, this is almost all of humanity, right? Abuse, dysfunction, or addiction. If you've come from any of that background, then you're going to shut off from your body because you typically don't have good boundaries either. You weren't taught good boundaries, right? Because they weren't modeled to you, so you wouldn't know any different. But now you're starting to learn, so now you've got some... opportunity to reinforce and take new action because now you know that there's an alternative. So the thing is though, when you a kid 0 to 7 and you're ignored, or you're if you go to speak up and you're punished for speaking up, right? And it might be a covert punishment where you're told to shut up, or you're told that, what do you know, or you're just a kid, or whatever it is. Or it might be overt where you might be distressed and a parent's just walked out of the room and that's their habit, right? Because they can't cope. They're too much in their own emotional wounds. They haven't done the healing work in themselves, so it gets passed down generationally. So, then you start to learn that, like, if I speak up, I'm abandoned, right? Or if I speak up, I'm abused, or I'm not enough. So these programs start operating, and that's a big reason why so many people this day and age, including myself, I had to work over this program, right? Of my voice, afraid to speak up, and if I speak up, I might be criticized or attacked. And so the thing is, in your mind, that is a reality because that's what you were programmed to believe when you were younger. And so because you believe that, as an adult, you keep provoking that or magnetizing that in your energy field, in your frequency, because it is your operating system. It's your vibrational match. So you need to be able to reprogram all of that in order for you to make the shifts, the fundamental shifts, to install the programs to operate and support you for your success. Now, if you think you know that, but you know you're not applying that, and you'd like some help applying that, then that is one of my specialty areas. I help women particularly manifest their dreams by fundamentally working at the subconscious level, clearing the energy blocks. We go back and we reprogram those, we heal the old wounds, we reprogram the the dysfunctional programs into functional, supportive programs for your goal success, and then apply that to the strategy. Now, I might be able to give you that strategy, or you might already have a strategy in motion and you know it works, but it's not connecting. Well, then you'll find suddenly that all of a sudden you can apply that strategy and it starts manifesting for you too. So if you'd like some help with that, just reach out to me and let me know, and we'll have a chat, and I'll see if I can support you, and if I can, I'll share with you a couple of different opportunities, and if one of those resonates with you, I'll be more than excited to help you manifest your dreams and bring them to life. So lots of love, light, and manifesting magic. Mwah! Go and have an amazing day, and if this is great value, please let me know, and also please feel free to share it. Bye.